Hey guys, so at the end of class, we were going to go over a word problem, but we ran out of time. And so that you guys can complete it on your homework, I'm going to go over it here just so you guys will have an understanding of the basics of this word problem and the way it's formulated, set up, and how you guys can work with this. So it's going to be very similar to the problems prior we were doing in class, but we just have to actually make the sketch ourselves rather than be given the sketch. So let's see. The sprinkler system on a farm is set to spray water over a distance of 20 meters, let's underline that, and to rotate, so we know it's going to move through an angle of 140 degrees. Now we want to find the area of the region irrigated by the sprinkler. So we know it goes over a distance of 20 meters through an angle of 140 degrees, but it's not limited to that because it's rotating. So let's start out with a sketch, right? So we go over here. Let's say this is a bird's eye view of what the sprinkler is covering, right? So let's say this center, this epicenter right here, its bottom, that is going to be the actual sprinkler itself, and here is going to be the distance in which it reaches. So this is going to be an angle of 140 degrees, but we know that it rotates, so it's not just going to cover this, it's going to turn. So let's fill out the whole area that it'll cover. That's another spot if it rotates to the left. That's another spot if it rotates to the right. Here's another spot if it rotates to the left twice. Here's another spot if it rotates to the right twice. And if it turns all the way around, here's a final spot. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 spots. We know that one spot has an angle of 140 degrees. So let's take that, 140. But there are 5 different positions, possible positions that this could be. So let's multiply and figure out. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. So 700. We know that this is going to then be a circle of 700 degrees. Meaning that this circle, if you were to spin this circle around, it would cover a distance of 700 degrees. But we have to include the other part now, 20 meters. So we know that one piece of the sprinkler, or one position in the rotation of the sprinkler, will reach a distance of 20 meters. Though that's just one side. We have to include both sides for one piece. So that's another 20 on this side. 20 plus 2, 20 times 2 is going to give us 40, right? And this is important because that's one piece. And again, just like we multiply for the angle, we need to find the amount for 5 pieces. So we have 40. Let's do 40 times 5. So if you guys want to know your shortcuts, do 5 times 4, which is 20. Add this 0, that's 200, right? 200. So now we have a circle of 700 degrees spanning over 200 meters, right? So that's how much this sprinkler will cover. It will cover 200 meters in a circle of 700 degrees. But we need to make sure that this is enough for the minimum. Let's see what the minimum is. The minimum is 20 meters and the minimum is 140 degrees. So let's see. 20 meters, 140 degrees. And now let's write 200 meters and 700 degrees. Let's start with the first one, right? Is 20 meters at least, or let's rephrase that. Is 200 greater than 20? Yes. So that means it covers at least 20. Now, is 700 degrees greater than 140 degrees? Yes, it covers at least 140 degrees. Both these statements are true, meaning that if we go back to the problem and we have to find the area irrigated by the sprinkler, the answer will be true. It can irrigate the area of 20 meters and 140 degrees. Thanks, guys.